to show you my backpacking cook kit right here. Exactly 9 ounces. I'm not doing anything more than boiling water on trail, so I don't need a frying pan or simmering. I'm not doing any simmering or anything like that. As far as options for what you can use, I use an alcohol stove. I have also used solid fuel stoves. Never used a canister stove. I probably, if I ever have to camp somewhere where I need a canister stove, I'm gonna just pick up a BRS 3000. They're under $20. The reason I don't like canister stoves is I don't like not knowing how much fuel I have in those canisters, and carrying around all that extra weight of the canister. Not that it's crazy weight. Another option is white gas stoves, but I'm not carrying around that big bulky weight, and I'm not planning on backpacking in Antarctica. I don't need to boil water at 40 degrees below zero. Another option would be a wood burning stove. I've not seen very good reviews about those online. Even though you don't have to carry fuel with you, you're just picking up sticks in the woods. Just not an option that I'm interested in using. You could also do MREs, self-heating MREs. They're just too big and heavy to carry around, so I'm not taking that unless I'm car camping or something like that. The last option would be the cold soak, which I have not tried before. I probably will in the future, but don't have any plans for it anytime soon. I thought I'd go over how I ended up with what I have right now. So my first cook stove was this one here that I got, a solid fuel stove that I picked up, I think, at Walmart. Basically, it folds like this, and you store your solid fuel in here, and it folds like this. Now the thing with this is it's too wide for my pot, so what I was doing was I was putting shepherd's hook tent stakes across here to kind of create a platform to set it on. This one, you can see the size of it. This one is 3.8 ounces. Not too bad, but it's just a little bit bulky. I probably lasted about two backpacking trips with this before I needed something different. So my next stove is the Trangia alcohol stove. They make these in Sweden, but there's a lot of knockoff ones. This one weighs 4 ounces. And the way this works is there is a simmer ring up top you can simmer with. Reason I wanted to do this one is because you can keep any unused fuel in here. There's a rubber gasket inside here, and you don't want to put this back on here until it cools off. This thing acts as like I said, as a simmer ring. Can kind of control the flame, how much flame's coming out, and I also use this to just drop on top to snuff the flame out. I did start to get some, even with this rubber gasket, you can replace the rubber gaskets, but it just started leaking a little bit too much for my liking. So the way this works too is you can't put this right on top of it because it'll just put the flame out. So you have to get some kind of pot stand. This one, I got these titanium ones. You just put these two cross pieces together, and that sets on top of there as your pot stand. These two pieces right here together weigh 1/2 ounce. My next stove, I'm going to show you that is inside here, but my fourth stove, I'm jumping ahead here. My fourth stove is this Esbit solid fuel stove, another solid fuel stove. And these wings just kind of fold out like that. You set the solid fuel on there, the pot sits on there like that. Reason I kind of wanted to go back and try this solid fuel stove again, I was backpacking with someone. She had a Trail Designs, what's it called, a graham cracker stove. It's super lightweight, and they make another, Trail Designs makes another one called the Kojin stove. It's an alcohol stove. I might check that out sometime. I just don't like that you have to use their cone system with it. Now with this one here, I forgot how bad these solid fuel things smell. This is the, let me show you, take one out of the box here. So these are the solid fuel things, and all you do is light them, and you set that right on here, and that's where it burns. So I forgot how bad they stink. They're terrible smelling, even when they're not being used. So I decided to try using one of my Vaseline cotton balls that I use as fire starters anyways, and put that on here. That was not such a great idea, as I found out. It got soot all over everything, all over my hands, all over my pot, my windscreen. So I went back to using my alcohol stove that is in here. It's a cat food can stove. So let me show you what I got in here. Okay, first of all, the pot koozie. There's directions for how to make these online. This is just Reflectix and some duct tape. So that, and then this, my pot came with this this thing here. That keeps everything held together, just like a little net thing. All right, on top of here, this is what I use for making coffee, hot chocolate, whatever I need to put in here. And that just nests right on top of the pot. This pot I've been using from day one. This is a Toaks titanium. I believe it's 700 milliliters. So 2 cups of water, boil easily in here. That's all I need. I'm not doing any kind of crazy cooking on trail. I'm just basically boiling water. Inside I got the pot grabber here. Just an old bandana. I can use this to dry out the pot also when I'm done. Mini Bic. And I just cut up a few pieces of like jute twine in here that just if I need something for like to light the alcohol. And then also in here I got my cat food can stove. This thing weighs a whopping 0.2 ounces. The this Esbit one is titanium also. It weighs 0.4 ounces. And last thing in the pot is titanium windscreen. This was a little bit bigger when I bought it. I cut it down with some tin snips. You could also use some heavy duty aluminum foil. So that all nests very nicely in there like that. Got that in. Lighter. Bandana. Lid. You can probably see on here, I tried an experiment that didn't work too well, is I tried putting silicone handles on here as to kind of grab it off the fire, and they melted on there, so it's not such a great idea. But yeah, you can put this titanium right on the hot coals of the fire, if you have a campfire. It goes like that. This goes on here. Cinch it up. And this pot koozie, I basically just use this for, I'll put my food bag in here and just use it as a food bag holder for hot foods. The alcohol fuel that I use is the Yellow Heat. What is this? Gasline antifreeze. And what I'll do is I'll just pour that into this 8-ounce bottle. I can usually get quite a few days of boils out of this 8 ounces of alcohol. If anything longer than that, then I'll probably just throw in a few of these edited cubes and just do a couple boils with that. And put this right in the bottom of my my cat food can. Maybe throw down some aluminum foil in there so it doesn't make a mess. As far as the Yellow Heat, there's a lot of different alcohols that you can burn in an alcohol stove. I saw a YouTube video, I can't remember, I would link it if I remember which one it was, but somebody did a test with the Yellow Heat, the red bottle of heat, 2 different kinds of rubbing alcohol, grain alcohol and denatured alcohol, and this was kind of the best one that they come up with. The red heat, the red bottle of heat creates too much smoke, and this had a pretty decent burn time. As far as using an alcohol stove over a canister stove, such as the Pocket Rocket or the Jetboil, when I'm at camp, I'm not too worried about that extra 5 minutes it takes to boil water with using alcohol stove instead of a canister stove. And I'm generally not getting out my cook kit to do any boiling when I'm just taking a break. So I'm usually only doing boils at camp. And that's it. That's my backpacking cook kit and how I ended up with what I'm using. And hopefully you got some useful information out of this. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching.